All right. Welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name is St. Kramer. I'm with Brian the Grizzly over there.
What's up?
And we are going to talk about one of our last videos, movies for our Oscar 2023 nomination, Best Picture nomination reviews. We are talking The Fabelmans. This one is directed by Spielberg, kind of about Spielberg.
No,
Hollywood loves Spielberg.
Definitely about Spielberg.
Yeah. Yeah. I
It's
didn't want to see.
biopic. It's like a biopic.
It's kind of,
it's
but
it's not. It's autobiographical without being autobiography. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, no, exactly. You know, I was like, I don't see a movie from Spielberg about Spielberg and about Hollywood and stuff. It sounded very pretentious, and so I really didn't want to see it. And then I finally watched it, and I'm like, I get it. It was good.
he aired all the dirty laundry out there. You know, it's funny. So it is autobiographical. I say biopic or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not the center of the story. It's about him, but he's not really the center of the whole story. It's just it's kind of how he developed into who he was. But
yeah,
you know, his parents are really the center of what's going on.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. Penny.
Yeah, damn Penny. Damn you, Seth Rogen. Which I didn't even know he was in this movie, and I'm like, of course Seth Rogen's in this movie. He's in everything. But Paul Dano was the father. He was great. Was it Michelle
Williams is amazing. Michelle Williams she does her thing, and that's this one.
Yeah. I mean, I think the mom is, if anything, the mom is the most main character than anything else. But it's really about the family, about Sam, who's quote unquote Steven. And then the parents. And those are the main kind of characters that everything revolves around. But it's definitely about the mom is a lot, is her, and just man, it was I didn't expect it to be so deep into like that.
At the beginning, she said this family is really the scientists versus like the free spirits of the creative people.
Yeah, the arts versus the
artsy people. Yeah. So it's like, and that's kind of what we got with them in the movie. And that was the main problem in the family.
Yeah.
You know? They're just two different people. You know, one's an electrical engineer that turns to computer engineer, and the mom is very artsy, and all the kids get the artsy part. Well, most of them get the artsy part.
Most of them.
Yeah. So I mean, it was just interesting, their development. I saw the movie and then I started to read more about it. So the first screenplay was written in 1999 by Steven Spielberg's sister. Because he has two sisters that are, one's a writer, and then the other one's another director like him.
Yeah.
So but yeah, the first one was written in 1999, and then Spielberg thought that it was just too much, and he also was worried about how his parents will feel about seeing all the information kind of aired out there right in front of him.
Yeah,
and his dad lived to be 103, so he
I didn't know that.
This filming of the movie by like a year.
yeah. I mean, that's great. I mean, I don't know if like there's parts where they make it seem like the dad's the bad guy, and I never got that. I always liked the dad.
I thought that he intentionally tried to see him as the bad guy to take it away from the mom.
Yeah.
He said, it's blame me. Like he's like, blame me. I'm the reason why this didn't work out. I'm the problem. Don't blame her, because she was already going through her depression, and he just didn't want them, being upset with her because he doesn't know she could handle it. So he said, blame me, put it all on me. And I thought that was really awesome of him.
Yeah. Also, I think it's because how much he loves her. Like even at the end, he still loved the mom so much, where he was just like, I love you so much that I will be the villain, so you don't have to be the villain. Exactly. Even though she broke the family up. I mean, not, but she was definitely.
You could be anyone. You could choose anyone, and you're gonna move the dude into the house. Are you crazy?
Oh man! From the beginning, from that first dinner scene, I'm like, she's got something for him. She's got something for him.
I mean, and who does that? You have kids and all that stuff. And I just, man. And then Benny, dude, you are the worst friend I've ever met in my life. I've never seen someone freeload off someone else and then sleep with the dude's wife with the kids in the house. You are the worst person of all time.
Yeah.
And it called me Uncle Benny. I punch you in the face.
Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy, man. And then, I mean, I liked because like was the mom, did she have mental problems? You know, because there's things that happen where you're just like a normal person doesn't do stuff like that, you know.
But when you're dealing with depression does make you feel a certain way or do a certain thing, do certain things. So she might have just been a free spirit. I mean, didn't they say like they didn't really go back to their story, but the mom and dad had one date before World War II started.
Yeah.
One date. A year later, they're having their first baby Sammy. Like what? Like, that might not be the best way to do stuff, but whatever. I thought the story was funny. Who's your favorite character?
I like Sam a lot. You know, I like the actual like, you know, representation of Spielberg. You know, I liked him. I thought he was very interesting. You know what I mean? Like right off the bat, where like, you know, they go into the movie and they see the big train wreck and he was just obsessed with it. Because I think the mom was like, oh, he's freaked out because of it. And I'm like, no, it's the opposite. He wasn't. He was so like, oh my God, that looked amazing. You know what I mean? And his need to recreate it, which is kind of, I think towards the end, the dad says that he's like, he goes, you're going to go do this, even though I don't want you to do it, but I know you're going to work hard with it and you're going to be incredibly good at it because you don't know how to stop. You get that from me. And you don't realize that until later. But he's also very much like the mom, where the art is so passionate, but he has that drive like the dad, where he's just like I have to be the best at this, and I have to like everything has to be just like obsessed with it. Because the mom is, it's such a great take on that. I didn't even think about that until later.
You know what? And you think about Steven Spielberg, so like he's always been on the cutting edge of all technology, movie wise. Like he's always pushed the envelope. I'm thinking about Jurassic Park. With the animatronics that they had, like he's pushed the envelope.
Saving Private Ryan, like
things, the way that you did the filming. That's the stuff that we saw. He was 10 years ahead of everybody. So like, I felt like he didn't realize how much he is like his dad, but he is like his dad too.
Yeah,
like he kept on pushing the envelope. His dad was an electrical engineer who became a computer engineer. Like, you know, like that's amazing. So like, he's another guy who will work hard, push the envelope, see how it goes. I don't know.
Yeah. I thought that was like super interesting. Of like he's literally a combination of both of his parents. You know. So that was a good part. What about you? Who was your favorite character?
The monkey, man. Benny
the monkey. Monkey.
That was the whole time while watching Benny the Monkey. I was like, "Is this where he got Planet of the Apes?"
Did he do? He didn't do Planet of the Apes. Spielberg.
I thought he did.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe I don't know. His
the monkey was just like it's such a thing, like a trope. Like you're at high society. Like he didn't grow up like I grew up. To have a monkey in front of your family, you didn't grow up poor. Like you grew up well off, and that was interesting. But besides the monkey, I think I like the dad. I think I like the dad because I feel like he made sacrifices without everyone. He had to point to himself. Like I'm making the sacrifices, but I can stay in the back, you know, in the side. You know, I'm doing it for the family because the family needs it, not necessarily because I need everyone to know I'm doing it. Even though Uncle Boris is pretty cool too, but yeah.
That whole scene of like the mom dying. and then she's kind of having this like almost mental breakdown. And then the phone rings, and it's her dead mom giving her this message like, don't let him come in. He's gonna ruin everything. And then the next morning is like the uncle, and I'm like, it's such a interesting, because then it's like he doesn't mess it up in the way you think. He kind of like he puts the wheels in motion for Sam to like he kind of told Sam what his future is going to be.
Yep.
He goes, like it or not, this is what's going to happen, dude, because you have it, I have it, your mom has it, this is going to happen, and I think he did it very well, where you're like, oh, what's going to happen? Because then it leads into the next scene of him with the camp thing. Yep. He's like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to let my passion ruin my family. And then that's what ruins the family. It was like, holy shit, man.
On camera.
Oh my God. And it was, man, this is why Spielberg is, I mean, this is a very simple story that it kind of takes you on a very interesting roller coaster ride, and things I didn't really quite expect, because they set you up like, oh, he's gonna go hardcore with his filmmaking, but then like, no, he's gonna listen to his dad and do what his dad said because he wants to be the good son and cares about the family. But then that's the thing that messes everything up, and I was like, damn, Spielberg, okay, I get it, man. You are the GOAT, man.
He's a genius.
He is the greatest.
He's a genius. He knows more than we do.
But then it's his real life. So I was like, how much is it your real life, and how much did you mold it to tell a good story?
Once again, I heard him doing an interview, and he said something like, there are times when Michelle and Paul were acting that I saw my mom and dad. They were doing such a good job that I saw my mom and dad. I had to pull myself back, because you can't be a director and be part of the story. In the story, like, you have to be objective. You have to be thinking about other people. You can't just be in your memories, in your feelings.
Yeah.
And he's one of the best, so that's kind of why he can do that. But for him to say that, it's like a lot of these things these are actual things that he went through. The storyline, there might be added characters, there might be some things that weren't necessarily exactly true, but the basic story is his life.
Yeah.
So he's really giving us like insight into him, and I thought that was really, really cool. And even the casting of Sammy. What's his name? Gabriel LaBelle. He was like the last person cast.
Really? I didn't know that.
Everyone else was already cast. Yeah.
He crushed it. He was so good. He was so good, man. I hope this kid gets way more work from this, because that was really good. That was really good. Like, because he was able to like be smart and be timid when he needed to be timid, but then like I don't know, like he just played a teenager going through all these different emotions, like so well. Yeah.
They said that he's afraid because he doesn't look like Steven Spielberg, and they were casting for the look, and that's why he didn't get it for the first 3 months. He went away for 3 months without getting the job, and eventually he got the job. But he went through all their family films. He paid attention to all the little sly things that Steven Spielberg used to do, and he developed the character in his mind, and then he understood that I have to be a focal point without being the center of attention, and he did that phenomenally. Mean, I kept on saying that there's no way this movie deserves to win me in this Oscar place, but it was a good ass movie. It just really was.
Yes. Yeah, and it's just, oh my! So even the very end, the last, even like before that, but when they're in the high school, and he does the whole thing with the beach party kind of thing, where he makes his bully to be like this god, a hero, and then he makes the other bully like this loser. I was like, is he doing this on purpose, or is he doing this because he just only knows how to tell a good story? Because it's like, you're putting them against each other. What I mean? Even they're both, pieces of crap. He's like, you made him look good and you made him look bad. So like, therefore, like they can't be on the same page.
Exactly.
And it's like, it's so interesting.
Because they when the other one comes after him, Lucas jumps in and is like, get off him. Because he made him look good. It was almost like he had the foresight to know how this would go. and said, "No, I need someone to be on my side. I'm gonna make him look heroic."
I think because Logan asked him that, the bully, and he goes, "Did you do this on purpose?" He's like, "I don't know if I just caught what the camera caught and I made a story. Did I mean it? I don't." And it's like really interesting because it's like, when does the genius, quote unquote, become like intuitive, where you're just doing it off of instinct because you this is gonna be good, like deep down. And oh man, like that part was really interesting. Even at the end of that whole conversation in the lockers, and he's like, "You better not tell anybody." He goes, "Oh, I won't ever tell anybody unless I put it in a movie years later." I was like, okay, that's funny.
The only thing he had to do was like look at the camera and go,
yeah. But the best, the one that tops that is at the very, very end. He meets the director, Ford, not Henry Ford, John Ford. He meets the director and he gives him the advice, where the horizon is, and I'm like, really great. And then as he's walking out,
he fixes it.
Oh my god! Because like he's walking down the middle, and the horizon's in the middle, and then the director just told him like, it's never interesting when the horizon's in the middle. And then you see the camera like jostle, and then the horizon shit. That had me dying. I'm like, that's so funny, and it's so meta, and it just tells you, he's like, oh no, this is my life that I'm directing, and it was just like that one thing. I'm not even kidding. I laughed so hard because I was like, I didn't expect it. It was funny, and it puts a exclamation point at the end of like, this is my story. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because like, this is the advice I got, and let me not forget that. Yeah. Oh man, I thought that was so well done. It was very silly, very just random, but it felt perfect. It felt perfect.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. The only thing I feel like we didn't really touch on was the bullying he got when they moved to California.
Yeah.
And that's something that I saw that, and you forget when these things are happening. You forget the world that what it was at the time.
In the 60s.
Yeah. And how many groups were really just, prejudice, had to deal with bullying, had to deal with
a lot of hate.
All the hate all the time, the stuff they did on the lawn, things he had to deal with in his locker. I mean, just all that hate, and how it also helps structure a person. And and you think about the guy who made Schindler's List.
Exactly.
Exactly. This is what happened for him, and all that hate, and all he did was make great movies out of it and make people understand his point of view even better. He's gotta be one of the best of to do that ever.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna go down in history as
the greatest,
the best director of all time. Yeah. Until I mean, probably past our lifetime. I don't, James Cameron might be the most profitable.
Oh, yeah, he
can. I mean, he makes
Steven Spielberg's jockstrap.
There was no CGI in this, and this was a bazillion times better story than Avatar.
Well, Avatar didn't have a story.
Exactly. I wouldn't be surprised if the next Avatar steals from the Fabelmans story.
And at the end of the sun, they'll be walking off, and the sunrise changes.
Yeah.
This can't be in the middle. I learned that from Steven Spielberg.
Yeah. I learned that from Steven Spielberg talking about himself in a movie. So as we're coming to the end of it, I think we both liked it. But does this deserve to be in the best pictures category?
As much as I thought going in, I thought I was gonna say no, and coming out, I'm like, definitely. It was a great film. It was so well done. But what do I should expect greatness no matter what. Steven Spielberg is always great. Yeah. And he delivered. He really did deliver. And how you not going to deliver about yourself?
Yeah, exactly. It was, I feel exactly the same. I'm like, I don't want to watch this. And every year there's always a movie where I don't want to watch, and it winds up becoming one of my favorite movies of the year, or at least of the category. Yeah. And this is probably my number 2. We still have one more movie we need to talk about and rank that in all the lists of everything. But as of right now, out of the 9 out of 10, Everything Everywhere is my number 1. This is my number 2. It was so good. It didn't need fancy CGI. It didn't need all the craziness. Just a very well told story, meaningful, and you felt for the characters. And I'm like, it's Spielberg doing what he does best, and I think he just knocked it out of the park.
That's about him. Just that much better.
yeah. So it was very emotional at times, funny at times. Yeah, it was really, really well done. Really well done.
In that movie that they're watching at the beginning, the guy who had the fedora, and look remarkably like one of his characters, looked like Indiana Jones.
Oh, did it? I didn't even recognize that.
He had the hat, and the way he wore it, it was just like Indiana Jones. I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, oh man, you can see parts of all this stuff in all his
Saving Private Ryan. There's the whole war scene, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I was like, but it's kind of funny, even like in that scene, he tells the kid who was like at the end was that lone survivor of the war, you know, and he gave him this speech and he told him, you need to feel this, you need to feel that. And then the kid got so into it, he was crying at the end and he kept walking and like, you know, and everyone was like, well, hey, we're done. It was like, and that was the first actor that did full on what's it called when you like
character actor, whatever that you feel right
you become that character, you know, like so
he's the first one I depressed so much.
It's
a full depression after my movies.
Exactly. So, but man, it was so well done. I really, really like this one, and I didn't expect it. So, man, anything else?
I mean, it's so good. How much money do you think it made?
I don't think it made that much.
So the budget is $40 million. I know that. I didn't see where his box office was, but I know the budget for making this film was $40 million.
I think it was the release was weird with this one. Let's see, because I don't think it was released. It was box office 35.2.
Oh wow! So it didn't break even,
but it was a limited theater release.
I got you.
Yeah.
And I mean, Steven Spielberg probably didn't have to make money off of it, but if he wins the Academy Award, just I mean, come on, that's just so him. That's so him.
Yeah. So I mean, people are calling it a flop, but it was Universal Pictures. The film opened as a limited theatrical release in the United States on November 11th, and then expanded to a wide release on November 23rd. Okay. It underperformed as, 35 out of the 40 mil. So it definitely, but also there was like no marketing for this movie.
Yeah.
And
what was going on.
Yeah. I would say once it went to streaming, I think it's done much better. I think that's when people started talking about it, was once it came to streaming. Because like honestly, I probably wasn't gonna go see this in the theaters.
I'm not gonna waste my time. I'm like,
I'm like, oh, it's a Spielberg movie about Spielberg. Okay, yeah, okay, but yeah, it was.
Hey, you get 2 thumbs up from me, man.
For sure,
for real,
for sure. Yeah, it was good. So, but even when he flops, he still makes great movies. Hook, considered a flop. I know you said it's your best favorite. Peter Pan. It's one of my favorites. I've watched that thing. I burned my VHS, tape player from watching it so much.
Dude, I like the stuff that even people don't even like. Other people don't like. I don't mind artificial intelligence. I like that one. I like AI. I like that was good. I like all of them, man.
Yeah. So AI was good, but yeah, man. But that's it for this one, man. We got one more movie left, The Banshees of Inisherin. We're gonna do a little bit later in the week, and then the Friday before Oscars, I'll probably invite whoever wants to come on with us, and we'll just talk about everything in the Oscars right before leading up to the Oscars.
Everything all at once.
Yeah, it is stealing every award show that leads up to the Oscars. So, but we'll get into that later for sure. But for the Fabelmans, we both liked it. We think it deserves to be in here. Great. I highly recommend people to go watch this. And before watching this, I would have said skip it. just because of the concept. After watching it, it is Spielberg.
He knows how to do movies.
He knows, yeah, exactly, man, exactly. But anything else, man, before we get out?
No, I'm just happy I watched it.
Yeah, same. Same. Cool. But that's it for this review. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you thought about the Fabelmans. Does it deserve to be on your list of the top 10 best movies of 2022? And do you think it might win the Oscar? Yeah, a lot of people are talking. It's up for a bunch of different categories, best picture, supporting actor, and stuff like that. So yeah, let us know what you think about this movie, and we'll love to talk to you in the comments about it. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, help us get to that magic number of 1,000 subs, which we're shooting for. But thank you guys, appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys in the next Oscar review. Later.